So we're back again. I thought I would do just a small kind of update episode. I haven't done everything I wanted to do before I started recording, but I realized if I did do everything I wanted to do, some of it's quite involved and you wouldn't get to see the processes that went into doing it, and it'll probably be a couple of days before I actually record anything. So I'll give you a bit of a progress update, so it'll be a real quick episode. This time won't be very exciting, but you'll get to see what I have been doing off camera. So we've got the Galacticraft stuff kind of set up. The pressure and the heat anyway, part of it. So what we've got here is we've got our pressure chamber, which I have used, and I created the steel seeds by putting the nether pig iron ore in there and compressing it into dense nether pig iron ore. So we're getting pressure from these liquid compressors, which we've made. Actually, these should be on high signal. Just notice that in the tooltip. So they should turn on and off with that. Oh yeah, that's much better. I was using so much lava. So these things run on lava. You feed them lava and they give you compressed air. Now I'm using a ender tank. What that is it's basically teleports the liquids. So put one tank here and another tank in another place. I don't know if you can kind of see, there's three coloured slots on the top. I've got them set to white, green, white, so then that connects up to all the other white, green, white tanks. And so we're feeding lava into these things so they can compress the air. We've got a gauge here to tell us how many bars the pressure is, and then we've got this redneck controller which I've set to less than or equal. So what this does is the input on the back should be less than or equal 6. If it is, then the input on the right gets a redstone signal, which is this. So that's doing exactly what I want it to do. When it gets a signal, it sends a signal down to these, and then these turn on or off based on the signal. The redstone lamp here is just for me to indicate that it is actually sending a signal or not sending a signal, so I can tell. So basically what this does is we've got two gauges. There's one there that I can read and one here that the redneck controller is reading. So it can read the signal off that gauge. And so I'm saying if the signal is high enough, if we've got a high enough pressure, then turn off the compressors so that we don't get into the red zone. So at the moment I've got it set to a signal of 6, which lets it sit around 3.75 bars of pressure. So we're also using that pressure for the thermopneumatic processing plant, which we need to feed LPG into, which we will do soon. One of the things I need to get around to doing. And then that turns the LPG into liquid plastic. And then this is the plastic mixer. Hopefully that doesn't care about the heat being that high, seeing as it's maxed out. Anyway, the plastic mixer takes the liquid plastic and you feed it red, green and blue dyes and tell it what coloured plastics you want. Those are both sitting on vortex tubes to turn air pressure into heat. And then we've got here the refinery, which we've seen before, which again is hooked up to a vortex tube so that we can heat it instead of using pressure. And what I've set up here is a little section where I'll put 3. I'll start with 3. I think 3 is going to be overkill, so we'll go with that to start with. And put 3 oil cows in there with a rancher feeding the oil into there. Then we can pipe out the LPG into the thermopneumatic processing plant. And I believe to make this work we have to make sure we're voiding out the excess of the other tanks. We'll probably put a couple of drums just in case I want the diesel or the kerosene or the ethanol maybe. Yeah, I can't remember what the other one is. Yeah, so I need to finish putting that through. Another thing I need to do is put items in here that feeds them into the pressure chamber. And at the moment we've just got a lever, so I walk around here and I have a look, and when the items have changed into the ones I want, I flick the lever. That opens the this interface and outputs the items into here. Now I want to see if there's an automated way of checking when the items have actually finished compressing, if I can do it that way so that I'm not, because if I leave this open, as soon as it puts the items in, it's going to pull them straight out again. So I need to figure out if there's a way to kind of automate that a bit more, other than putting whitelists on the filters, which yeah might be a thing, but I think there are some things where there are multiple steps in the pressure chamber for that thing. So you might create a capacitor in here, but then you might use the capacitor to create a machine frame in here. So if you just whitelist the capacitor on this thing, then it's always going to pull the capacitors out and you can't build the machine frames with that in the list. So yeah, might see if anyone's done anything kind of clever to do that. Yeah, this is nice. So yeah, I completely forgot to set them onto the signal, so I was wondering why I kept running out of lava. But now that I have, I can see that my lava is slowly going up. So I'll show you where I started generating this lava, and that's right here. And first things you can notice is that I don't have lava underneath it for a heat source. I don't have a torch. I don't have pyrotherium, blazing pyrotherium, and I don't have a yellorium block. I've got a nuclear bomb. So I've got 2 nuclear bombs under here. Yes, if they go off, they would destroy my whole base. I did test in another world before I did this that I could put the lava down next to them and it wouldn't trigger it, because I wasn't going to test that here. So yeah, if they get a redstone signal, or if I use a flint and steel on them, they will explode. Anyway, I've got them, and I've got 2 crucibles running to make the lava, and I've put 20 world interaction upgrades, stack upgrade, and a full stack of speed upgrades onto this thing, so it's creating cobblestone at a massive speed. What I did look up and find out is that we should be doing world interaction upgrades for quicker cobblestone rather than speed upgrades. So speed only affects transferring through the nodes, whereas the world interaction upgrades affect the speed that it will generate cobblestone. So what I've done is I've started, so I've got a full stack of world interaction upgrades on there and a full stack on there, so I've started kind of converting those over, and I'm definitely seeing a major increase in the speed that the cobblestone's getting done. But these world interaction upgrades, actually I'll put these ones on, that's the reason I've got them in my hand. Okay, I'll put that one, this one, yeah. The thing is, they're very expensive, these world interaction upgrades to make. And yeah, take a little bit of a process, so I've kind of set up a temporary thing here, but I might set up a better system for this, because yeah, like I said, it's very involved and very expensive to create these world interaction upgrades, and I need to yeah, make hundreds and hundreds of them, so it's worth setting up some kind of thing. So what I've done is I've got my furnace here. I've put in the electric heat source upgrade onto it, which grabs electricity from there and uses that as a fuel instead of putting coal through. Because what I need to do is to create the electrotine bars. So if we world interaction upgrade. So to make it is 4 lapis, 4 electrotine alloys, and an iron pickaxe. Now, the electrotine alloy is created by taking a piece of iron, surrounding it in electrotine, and then putting it in the furnace. Then you get the electrotine bar. So there's a bit of a process for that, and then the iron pickaxe is sticks plus iron. But the thing is, the pickaxes don't stack. So you can't just have a stack of 64 pickaxes in your inventory. So what I've done is I've created a crafter, and I've put these 2 recipes in here to create the pickaxe and to create the world interaction upgrade. Originally I did have the electrotine recipe in here, so I just feed it electrotine and iron and it would create the bars that would then feed into the furnace. But this is the tier 1 crafter, so it can only do 2 recipes. What I will do is upgrade that to a tier 2, and then I believe it can do 4 recipes, so I can add the electrotine ones back in there, set up a whole bunch of filters and stuff, do that. So creating those 2 stacks of world interaction upgrades has actually used up all my electrotine that I've got from the entirety of sifting. So, but what I do have is I've created a few more seeds last night. So I created blaze seeds, which make blaze rods. Instead of having to go kill blaze in the nether, I needed a few blaze rods, so I decided, and I only had 4 left, so I decided to make the seed with those last 4, and so I've got some 10 blaze seeds. I've got the electrotine seeds, which create this electrotine essence. But when I realized that it created the essence, and the essence created the powder and didn't directly create the ingots, I was like, oh, stuff that, I've got heaps of the powder, which I actually, went through really, really quickly. So yeah, so I will actually finish 10-10-10ing those seeds. They're 767 at the moment. I didn't think I would need any more electrotine. I actually need probably 100,000 more electrotine. And the one I'm currently doing is Signalum, which I need for the for Mechanism and Galacticraft to do all that sort of stuff. So I've set that up. Probably another one I will do will be the Enderium seed. So that's 4 blocks of Enderium and Zvicchio. I can make that right away, but obviously I've only got one 10-10-10 station, so I'll want to wait, finish the signal, put the electrotine in, and then I've also got steel seeds, which because I got the pressure chamber up, was able to create those, so those are the next ones to get 10-10-10. And the Enderium ones will have to wait in line, but that means that we will probably fill up this end garden here, and we might be able to do some of this garden as well, depending on how many seeds I go through. Should probably set this one up as well. I'll probably I might set up some small drawers for the petals, because I don't need heaps and heaps of these petals, and I like the colour of the flowers and stuff. I want to keep them there, but I need to remove those chests and get them all hooked up to the system. The same, these these energetic alloy ones aren't hooked up to the system yet. These harvesters aren't getting power, so I need to set that up. And so we'll have electrotine, we'll have steel, signalum, and inderium. We don't need a full 3x3 for each of those, so they'll probably take up a 3x3, those two together. Yeah, some other ones. But yeah, anyway, gone through that, doing some of those seeds. I grew some trees here. It looks like they grow fruit, so that gives me a papaya. These, that's nutmeg there, and so that's pistachio, there's chestnuts. But the wood, see, that's just oak wood, oak leaves, jungle wood. So the trees themselves aren't anything special, but they grow the different fruits. So yeah, I don't know, maybe have a couple of them here, but I was hoping they might look different, but they don't. They got hanging fruits on them. That's all good. I needed some cinnamon, so I've got some cinnamon there, because for the beta, to make French toast, we need some ground cinnamon, which I haven't been bothered to make before. But now that we've got cinnamon, we can combine it with the mortar and pestle and get all those extra other ones. The other thing is, the electrotine seeds that I made was a quest, so I've done that. I've got an epic reward bag that we'll be able to open. And yeah, what I'll probably do is finish off the French toast, and these are carrot ones, epic bacon, but these are all different carrot seeds, and then the emerald seeds, so I'll do those. And yeah, what else? And the Galacticraft stuff in Epsilon. So the transistors, capacitors, and I might craft up all those circuit things, but I might build that system in a video. Again, I mentioned this last time, I'll say it again, one of the things I'll be looking to set up is ore processing for this as well. So oil in there, finish up the plastic, see if I can automate the Galacticraft pressure chamber, ore processing here, 10-10-10ing a whole bunch of seeds. I'll probably just set it up here, little crafting station for all the world interaction upgrades. And see, that's nice to finally see that full. So I doubt I needed the nuclear bombs and stuff, but we'll leave them there now that they're there. Yeah, craft all the world interaction upgrades, which will actually get me Bedrockium really quickly. Probably get a whole bunch more void upgrades and tidy up that system there. I've actually got the mob system turned off because I think for most of it I've got heaps already, and stuff like iron's taking up like 6 or 7 storage drawers in there, even though one of them has like 60,000 iron in it. But these world interaction upgrades will use a lot of that for the electrotine and the pickaxes and stuff, and we'll see how we go with all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of things there that can be put into smaller drawers, things like apples and stuff, apples, carrots, there's chicken, wheat. These things aren't things that I'm going to use a lot of from that system. If I need those things, I can set up farms for them and stuff. Yeah, do all that and try and get myself prepared for Mechanism. I have looked up how to start Galacticraft, and that is by doing the Mechanism stuff. If I do these solar panels down here, so once I start doing the casings and get these are the basic pipes, the different power pipe, fluid pipe, item pipes, things like that. Windmills, power generation. Once I get those done, that should unlock Galacticraft, which we can then start progressing on and actually go to the moon and things like that. So yeah, what I'll be doing is just a lot of prep work for that, like with the Pneumaticraft, getting heaps and heaps of capacitors and things all crafted, and make sure I've got heaps and heaps of resources like steel and things all set up and ready, so that as I craft stuff, I'm not having to run around everywhere trying to find things and do all that, and just have heaps of those machine casings and stuff all crafted up, which, you know, takes a lot of time to prepare and things. Yeah, the other thing is I'll probably make a couple more ranches and get these guys piping into drums, because I've got more cows. I've got like maybe 20 more cows from when I did the spawning and did that. So pipe these guys into drums and 20 more. So what's that? Probably another 3. Another 3 little holes for them. So I might do another level or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick all the cows back up and try and design something nice looking. Have all the cows there, label them all and everything, if I can be bothered putting in the effort for that. Oh, getting bone meal into that, so that it does the trees a bit quicker. Doing that. Yeah, I don't think I'll bother piping crop sticks into this thing. I don't know. It's not something that's generally running all the time, so I can easily grab some crop sticks and craft them up usually while I'm doing other things, while I'm waiting for it to tend in here. So for now, it's probably alright. The other thing would be the Britannia stuff progressing on this. So you can see we've got quite a lot of mana starting to pile up here, which is awesome. So adding another Gormorillus and then setting up some Luniums around here. So what the Luniums do is they just spawn items in the world, so I'll just have a vacuum chest sitting on the ground below, beside them, and that will suck up all items and we'll put them into a chest. From what I can gather, it takes them a long time to spawn those items, so that's that'll be easy. Just put a diamond chest there and that should do for a long time, and then that means that we can see what items it's actually spawning for us, to see whether it's worth it to kind of scale up the mana stuff to actually do any of that things. Yeah, so that's it, just a bit of an update. I'll probably tonight just chill and focus on getting the seeds done and stuff and sorted, and probably set up the crafting for these world interaction upgrades. It'd be nice to finally do that. I should have figured that out a long time ago, but oh well. And yeah, we'll end off with doing the reward bag that I got. Hopefully it's something cool. Disenchanter. No, that it's not cool. What that does is you give it an item and it gives you back it takes the enchantments off the item. Yeah, not very interesting. Oh well. We can't all be winners, I guess. You know, not that we've really had that many winners. So yeah, I'll leave it here and try and get most of that stuff done. And then we'll be able to go over it at the start of the next episode when we start laying down some of our mechanism stuff and unlocking Galacticraft, which I will then need to read a whole bunch of stuff into so that we can do that properly, because there's so many chances to get that wrong. And yeah, still need to fight Gaia, so probably that might be the next episode before we actually start crafting the Galacticraft stuff, is to do Gaia and things, because once we've done Gaia and we get the Master Infusion Stone, that will first of all give us this ultimate furnace, which I want to try out. I haven't actually used the Zavicchio furnace yet. It might be better than the Hell furnace that I'm using. Anyway, that will allow us to get Temperio. I don't know whether... So Temperio is used to create the ultimate furnace. Oh yeah, that's to do the demon steel. Oh, diamond seeds, but we don't need that. I wonder if there's a difference between that, because it uses the Diamalia seeds to actually do it, which are seeds that already give you diamonds, so I don't know. It's a bit weird. Yeah, and I've got emerald seeds there too. I wonder if they just grow quicker with the skeleton seeds. It's interesting. Manulin seeds. Okay, and this the terrasteel seeds and stuff. What's that? Oh yeah, I really want that vibrant alloy stuff. Draconium seeds could be nice. That's it. You can't make armor out of it, but I believe this stuff you can, this demon steel. Maybe not. Okay, not until you get to the demon steel of the 3rd magnitude can you actually create anything. That gives us the reactor controller, which is the what do you call it? Big reactors, the nuclear reactor, probably the last power generation thing we'll have to do. But yeah, to get like the vibrant alloy seeds and stuff, it would be good to get the Master Infusion Stone. And the Master Infusion Stone can do all of those Minicio, Zavicchio, Temperio things, whereas the other stones only do their certain ones. So it'd be nice to have just one stone that I can do all that with, and then you can set up a crafter with that stuff and actually get it all done, which would be nice. Yeah, so I've been told you can't really read the percentages yet again. The percentages don't really matter that much to me, but I guess that's because I can read them. So Alpha is 97% completed. We have 2 quests left that we one of them we can't do until we get to Mercury. Beta is 84% completed. We have 12 quests to complete in there, which includes Gaia and some food stuff and seed stuff that I can do, I just haven't done. Gamma is 56% completed. That has 19 quests that we need to do. Delta is 84% complete, and that has 7 quests that we still need to do there. Epsilon is 11% complete. Zeta is 27% complete, and Theta is 15% complete. And as you can see, we still have have 6 whole quest lines that aren't even unlocked, including Ida, which is the AE system, which I really want. Iota, which is the Galacticraft stuff. Kappa is the Project E, which is the dire crafting, and EMC, the Philosopher's Stone. So it's basically trading items for other items so you can get whatever you want. Lambda is Draconic Evolution, which is more of the like dire crafting stuff, making insane things. Mu is, I have no idea what this is. Oh, Avaricia. Again, this is just like crazy stuff. This is like the Chaos Ingots and things. Yeah, getting into the insane stuff. And then New. Okay. And it looks like this is basically just the end quest. So once you can create Infinity Ingots, Neutronium, Awakened Draconium, Unstable Ingots, like these are the end game materials. So yeah, so it's just one quest in there. Cool. So still a lot to go, especially something like Galacticraft. I think, you know, you can spend a lot of time going to all the planets and things. I don't know how interesting it'll be. We'll see. I think from what I've seen, you know, it's muchness, but we'll go there. We'll do it all. Here to unlock all the quests. Yeah, so that's our progress overall. I'd say we're probably halfway through the game. Things will probably start soon now that we've got stable power supply, starting to create all the seeds for these things, starting to get a bit of automation going, and yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's going. Need to put another floor on that so we can start putting down mechanism stuff too. Yeah, so yeah, there might be a few changes coming through, but I wanted to kind of mention them now so that the next episode isn't just everything looking crazy different. Yeah, I'll leave it here, and yeah, hopefully it's still quite exciting for you, all this stuff going through. Certainly it's getting a lot more fun for me as things start picking up and we start to see progress towards the end game. I'll see you next time.